Hello and welcome to Mediamade, the show in which we, year by year, explore the movies, music, and TV that most invaded our lives. I am your host, a member of the Midnight Crew, Rod, and I am joined by...
Dokjong Shipper, Jess. Yes, I said that in the right order. That is the order in which I ship it. Thank you.
Hey, we're back from a longish hiatus.
Yes, and we will be returning to an indeterminate hiatus. I am unsure of how to do this show right now. When you started doing your opening, I started doing the opening for my other podcast. And I was like, wait, he's doing that wrong. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's doing it right.
I guess we can get these plugs out of the way. If you miss Jess and you want to hear her talk, you can watch her video podcast. Shipping. What is it?
Shipping Tales. Where we send you tales in the mail.
No, it's
Spinning Tales.
Spinning Tales.
Wow, I can't believe you didn't know it. You paused because you needed me to say it.
I was gonna say Taming Tales. That's not right.
Please support me because my husband doesn't.
Spinning Tales on YouTube and every place you can find your podcast.
Yes, you can listen to it audibly on all the podcast places, or you can watch it on YouTube and see what I look like.
But we said, hey, Mediamade needs to have our annual April Fool's show.
And this is definitely making it out on April Fool's.
It is not. We tried to record last week.
We tried really hard.
Several times, and it just didn't happen. So we're recording this days before April Fool's Day.
Literally 2.
Yeah. So instead, what we're going to do is we'll release it on April 13th for reasons you'll learn about later.
In the second half of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you can tell by the name of the podcast, we're talking about webcomics.
Woo, 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 interwebs.
Yeah, so internet-based sequential art.
Yeah.
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 Webcomics.
Webcomics. We've been throwing this idea around for a long time. We wanted to do the webcomic each of us have read the most of in our lives. The webcomics that most invaded our lives.
Correct. Though, now that I think about it, you didn't say those exact words to me, and I'm like, have I read a webcomic that has more chapters than this one that we're going to talk about for me? Possibly. Possibly. But this is the one. This is my favorite currently.
This is the way it goes. Mine is also my favorite and the one I've read the most.
Yes.
Because I think it's
I mean, yours is completed, so.
Mine's the webcomic with the most pages ever. I don't know if it's the most webcomic, but my webcomic is very long.
Yes, it is.
But we'll get to that one later because we're going to start with Jess's.
Because, you saved the best for first.
It's less of a webcomic and more of a webtoon.
That's
the same thing.
Yes. It was like, let's not.
Know. Yeah. All right, it's a webtoon. Debuting May 26th, 2020. Written by Umi. Illustrated by Sleepy C. Based on the web novel of the same name by Sing Shong. It's...
Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. Oh my gosh, I said it right the first time.
Omniscient...
Dagnabbit!
Reader Viewpoint.
Sorry, I peaked so bad right there.
We don't have sound effects for this segment, by the way.
Yeah, we don't. We don't have any sound effects because
it's a comic.
We might. Here's some page turning. Are you going to keep that sound in?
It sounded like slurping.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's Omniscient Reader Viewpoint.
Correct.
What is that?
It's a webtoon. That's what we just said, right?
What happens? And why did you read it so much?
Because it's good. So I really am into webtoons. I like them. There are a lot all over the world. I was into manga when I was a child and continued to be. And then I was like, oh, there are comics outside of Japan. Yes, I grew up in the U.S.
Are all webtoons Korean, or are they just? Is it just?
No.
Okay.
No, they are not. They do have different names. Like technically, this is called like a manhwa, and then the Chinese word for it is this. It's got a different tonality in it. There's a lot of them.
But Omniscient Reader Viewpoint is Korean. Korean.
Correct. Yes, it is made by a Korean person, and it is very clearly takes place in Korea.
Korean people.
Yes. Yeah, and so I got into webtoons forever ago. I can't remember what the first few ones that I read. I think it might have been Hooky, which is whatever. It's fine.
You read it all for the hooky.
And there was a slew of comics probably like 3 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I'm real good with numbers. That came up that is basically like almost like a transmigrator or an isekai, where somebody gets dropped into the world of a novel or sent back into their life. And there's just like, that's been a theme for a while. One of the big ones that came out that like had a system is Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is really big. It is still really, really big. I read all of Solo Leveling. I prefer Omniscient Reader. Omniscient Reader Viewpoint to that, which is a take. It's the best take. But yeah, it is about a... What was the question?
What's it about? It's about the apocalypse.
It's about the apocalypse. It is about a very specific apocalypse.
And yeah.
Was that the question you asked? Or did you ask
as far as I know, that's correct. I don't know what else happens in this.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It's also, it's meta. It's very meta.
It's very meta world peace. That's a basketball player.
It deals with the relationship between the reader and an author, you know, like...
It gets really, it already starts off really good, but it gets like really good in the ways it plays with like literary actions and formats and stuff like that. It was, and I know we're gonna go through the history of it. It is a web novel.
Yes.
That was turned into a webtoon.
Correct.
I have not read the novel, and that's because I want the webtoon to finish, and then I'm absolutely going to go back to the novel.
Maybe they'll give it away for free because you read it all the way through.
They won't.
But I read that they include like classic mythology in the story as well. Mm-hmm. It gets incorporated.
Yes. Yes.
Is you said you got into webtoons. How far along into that hobby were you when you discovered this story?
Years.
Okay.
Many years.
Okay.
Why?
No, I'm just wondering.
You're wondering if it was my first?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's okay. No, I don't know what my first was. Webtoon has been around for a long time. This one is probably it's probably in the first 5 of this genre that I started to read. Now I've read a lot in this genre, but this was probably like maybe 3 or 4 after Solo Leveling, and I was like, oh, I really like Solo Leveling. What else is out there? Oh, a lot of people are cribbing it. Let's go see like how other people write with this kind of thing, because once you read one of them, there's a lot of shorthand that happens. That's just kind of like, oh, well, we're going to talk about systems and things like that, and you're like, okay, we don't need a lot of explanation because that's been set up, kind of thing. But this was late in my webtoon tunage, but early in my let's get powers and save the world.
That's all I was looking for.
Yeah.
Anecdotes.
Yeah.
That's what our show's all about. Anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
I'm just reminding you.
Can you please use it in a sentence?
Tell me an anecdote about Omniscient Reader Viewpoint.
Anecdote. A-N-K.
Have you introduced it to anyone else, or
yes, many
pushing
people.
it on people?
Yes, my best friend Eileen, I made her read it. She does like it. She read it when she was down here. My friend Brittany, whom I do my Spinning Tales podcast, made her read it. She really likes it. My little bro Darnell, I actually have the first 6 books. They printed them, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to collect all of those, like the Pokemon I want them to be, and I let him read them. He still has...
You have it on the book?
Yes.
Or you have it on...
I do have the first one on the desk, and he has my 6th one somewhere in his house. I am coming for you, sir.
So explain this to me.
Yes.
Webtoon is both a genre and a website.
Correct. Yes. Oh, explain it to you, not
Which
just
came
say
first?
Yes. Webtoon... as an entity came first, the site came next.
Okay,
because
so
it's a collection.
It's like machinima.
Yeah. It's a collection of. They're like, well, these are a bunch of tunes on the web, so let's call them webtoons. You know, and they were like, yeah.
It'd be like if there was a website you go to called webcomics.com
to
read
is
webcomics.
There is.
Or fanfiction.net.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. Well, okay, so let's get into the creation of Omniscient Reader Viewpoint.
Let's do it.
I learned a lot.
I learned a lot. I'm saying now, but we're going to put that at the end of this segment where you're going to tell us our history.
All right, here we go. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, alternatively titled Omniscient Reader, the webtoon, is adapted from a 2018 web novel of the same name by pseudonymous South Korean husband and wife writing team Sing Shong, alternatively translated as Sing and Song or Sing Seong.
Okay.
Sing and song, sing shong. I don't know. Wikipedia says sing shong, so I think that's the default one.
Okay.
Sing and shong.
Yes. Yes.
Husband and wife. After
It's written sing lowercase, capital N, song lowercase.
right, that's some of them. Yeah.
Just for the people who are wondering why you keep saying the same things over and over.
After concluding the web novel The World After the Fall, as well as the novel How to Become a Star Writer in 2017, Sing Shong were, quote, in a slump. And there's a great interview that they did with the Yen Press that I pulled from. So this is them answering questions about the creation. Quote, after finishing our previous work, we had no idea what to write. We had to keep asking ourselves, what kind of story would readers want to see? Since we have been so absorbed in writing since some time ago, whenever we think about and talk about stories, we always start from the writer's perspective. However, we didn't want to start ORV that way. That's why we set the main character as the reader and started from the perspective of the person reading the story, which, you know, the main character is a reader of a story.
Yes.
And he knows what will happen next.
Yes, because he did the homework.
Again, very meta.
Yeah.
When developing their new story, Sing Shong drew influences from various mythologies, as well as a few non-fiction sources, including Roland Barthes' A Lover's Discourse and Pierre Bayard, Anticipatory Plagiarism and How to Talk About Books You Haven't Read.
I want to read that. That sounds like a fun book.
Non-fiction books about books.
I mean, that one does sound fun, though.
How to Talk About Books You Haven't Read.
Yeah, I would use that for movies and TV shows.
On January 6th, 2018, Sing Shong began publishing Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint in serial on platform Moonpia. It proved popular, boasting over 100 million cumulative views, which is a lot.
Yes.
And the novel concluded on February 2nd, 2020, after 99 episodes plus one epilogue.
That's solid. 100?
Yeah.
That's solid.
Have you read the After the Fall story that they published before that?
No, I have not. I didn't even know about it. Do you have what it's about?
No idea.
Or
all
were
I
you
know is
just
that they're set in the same universe. Omniscient Reader in that one.
I mean, like having said it, I do want to read it. I would want to read the novelization of it, so I'm probably going to find it somewhere.
It's on there, Moonpia or whatever.
Is it translated?
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the thing. My Korean is not strong in the reading because dyslexia is strong in the me.
3 months later, on May 26, 2020, comic production company Redice Studio began publishing the webtoon adaptation of Omniscient Reader on the platform Naver?
Yes, Naver.
Naver. The webtoon was written by Redice author Umi and illustrated by Redice's Sleepy Sea team. So it's like a team of people, apparently.
Mm-hmm. You need a team if you were doing this kind of art with any kind of regularity.
The head of Sleepy Sea described the webtoon's creation to The Beat this way, quote, there are many different stages in the process. It starts with the writer finishing her job, and then Sleepy Sea begins with the artwork. We start with the production meeting and set the episode's direction and storyboards. The pre-production team has a meeting to take out all the characters, 3D models, and all the materials and designs for the story that will be needed. Then the drawing and coloring teams will draw the characters before the background team begins to apply their masterful artwork. The producer will then add the script. We have a polishing team that finalizes and finishes the first stage of a completed work. After that, we have another meeting with our director to see if we need to correct or modify anything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very thorough process.
It's I obviously don't work in it, and I would have no idea how to do this, but I've seen other works where it's like, this is what it takes to do a single page. And I'm like, yeah, you need a team, bro. One person can't be doing that the whole time. Dang.
And I don't know if this is the case for other webtoons, but something I appreciated, because you and I read it together on the big screen.
Yes.
You cast it from your phone to the TV.
I did, like the magician I am.
But I enjoyed how, because I think they know the comic will be read on smartphones, a lot of the panels take advantage of the phone aspect ratio.
Yeah.
You know, how it's meant, and they expect people to turn their phones side to side sometimes.
Yeah, to see oh, wow, look at this huge spread. You're able to do that, but for the most part, the flow is really...
Yeah, and it's definitely a scroll down type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, comic books, they have panels that you read page to page. This is really a scroll through the story kind of thing.
Yeah, though that being said, another thing to say about this team, when it was translated into a physical book, they reintegrated those panels in a really nice way. And I can say that because there are other webtoons I've read, like Lore Olympus is a webtoon that I read forever ago, and I have the first physical book of it, and it is a mess the way the book is this thick for less chapters than this one. You guys can't see my gestures, but he can. It's like and the way the panels are placed make no sense.
Let me see a page of that book right there. I want to see what you're talking about.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, just open it up. Yeah, looks like a comic book.
Yeah, it looks like a comic book. Whereas, like, if I went and give me 2 seconds to grab the other one.
Okay.
You can count it out. Don't count it. Don't count it. What did I hit? And if you, like, look at the Lore Olympus one.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Well, okay, I will say the paneling in the Omniscient Reader version you have, they look nicer, like a more traditional comic book. But you can tell that they cut out pieces of the panels to fit it into that style, you know? So you're like not getting the full panel like you would on your phone.
Yes, but like these were also full panels on the phone. Do you see how some of them are overlaid?
Yeah, but that kind of looks like it was made in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Or like with MS Paint. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was like published, and they have like 7 of these books, and also like this is like 4 chapters, whereas this one is 9, 10.
Right.
Anyway,
I get it.
Anyway, I was just like, yeah, the attention to detail and how they put it on the tune, on the webtoon on your phone to scroll is also paid very much attention when they translated it.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, obviously I haven't read the novel, but checking the comments and stuff, they adapt that really well as well. There's some stuff that they move around from like, oh, this usually happens later in the book, or this is revealed, or this relationship is later, but it makes sense for where it is now, kind of thing. So the team knows what they're doing, is what I mean.
Following its South Korean debut, the series also released in the United States, Japan, France, Thailand, and Indonesia through Naver Webtoons Global Service.
Yeah.
So if you're in any of those places, you can read it.
You can.
In your language.
In your language.
And the translation's not bad. It's good. It's pretty professional. The translation is
really good.
Yeah, but like, and we'll talk about it, but like I appreciated that when the comic hits something like that's kind of culturally specific to Korea, they'll have a little footnote to explain it to international readers.
Yeah.
Which is something that like Marvel Comics kind of do for their continuity. You know, have a little Sam or a little Stan Lee pop up and say like, "Hey there, true believers! If you don't understand this, you should read, Amazing Spider-Man, $4.99." I don't know.
Buy more of our products.
This was just more like, this is what they mean in Korean.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for the making of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the comic itself.
Yeah, well, the first chapter, if we will.
Do we first chapter or first episode? Is it chapter 1?
Yeah, well, so we read 6 episodes, but they were all in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called, chapter or episode 1 technically is called End of Free Trial Period.
Got it.
Sorry, give me a second.
And it was broken up into like 6 chapters or 6
episodes.
Entries.
Yeah, it was, entries. But the whole of the chapter of everything in the first arc, is titled End of the Trial Period.
Got it. And we meet our main character. What's his name?
Kim Dokja.
Dokja Kim. Sorry.
That's fine. We're in America.
His name is it's like a joke.
Yeah. It's a play on words, sort of.
I guess in Korean it means only child.
Yeah.
So he like says, yeah, when people meet me, they think, oh, you're an only child. It's like, no, that's my name actually.
But also, I am an only child.
That too. I have his little like introduction, like panel. It says, Dokja Kim, 28 years old, graduated from a third-rate college and currently employed as a contractor at a subsidiary of a large corporation.
Yes.
Which, he's a Korean everyman.
Yes.
Literally named Kim.
There are several Kims, but yes.
Yeah. And we meet him. He's
on his way home from work.
Yeah, he's like professionally unfulfilled.
Professionally, personally, any way you could be fulfilled, he is not.
the only fulfillment he gets is that he is the sole reader of an unpopular webcomic.
Yeah.
Is it a webcomic or like a?
It's a web novel. So when he's reading it, it is a novel. It is like when the original novel came out of OVR, it was written as a web novel, and Dokja was reading the web novel. Right.
And so it's sort of a play on like maybe singing song said like imagining we're writing a comic and it's not popular and we only have one guy who's reading it.
Yeah.
And it's this guy.
It's this guy. He has nothing else going for him.
And like they show a flashback about how like he had a really troubled like high school. Like he was never an overachiever. Mm-hmm. He got bullied at school. Mm-hmm. He didn't get to a good college. He didn't get a good job. Mm-hmm. He's worried about getting fired all the time.
Yeah.
And the only constant in his life is this one story that he enjoys, and no one else likes it but him.
Yes. I mean, people liked it at first.
He said like after 6 chapters, no one viewed it.
No. It was like after 50 they started like, so it was like the first 10 chapters were really like a lot of people were on it, and then like by 50 chapters in there was like 20 people on it, and by the end of it, which was 1,000 chapters long, he was the only person who had been reading it for 500 chapters.
Yeah. I have a quote here. It says, today is a special day because 3 ways to survive the apocalypse.
The name of the novel he's reading.
Or TWSA for short. Twasa?
Twasa.
That's how you were saying it?
I kept saying Twasa.
Which I've been reading for the past 10 years is coming to an end.
Yes.
And so it's a big day for him. He's going to read the last chapter on the subway on the way home.
Big day, sad day.
But his day gets interrupted. He can't read it. Why?
Because he's interrupted from reading it because a coworker finds him on the train and starts speaking Spanish to him.
Her name is Sanga Yu.
Okay.
Yu Sanga? I don't know. Sanga? S-A-N-G-A?
S-A-N-G-A. There's no H in there?
No.
S-A-N-G, not H-A?
Nope.
Then Songa.
Songa Yu.
Yu Songa. Yeah.
From HR.
From HR.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, hey, Dokja, let me sit down next to you. and then he feels work envy because they started at the same time. And she's a full-time employee who works in HR and everyone loves her. And everyone wants to date her.
I'm going to correct that. He does not feel work envy. He feels like, oh, you're in my bubble.
Well, that too.
He's just like, he is saying like, she is really cool. People really like her. She absolutely got hired, even though we worked at the same time and I'm probably not going to get hired. And he's just like not envy in this, I guess maybe a little bit envy, but it's not work envy. It's just like, wow, you got your life together and you continue to prove yourself. That's cool. I'm not able to do that, nor do I want to.
And he's embarrassed because she's asking him what he's reading. And he's like, he's nothing you'd know.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be. Because he's the only one who reads it.
Yeah, he's a bit of a loser.
Okay. I've read a lot, so it hurts me the words you're saying. Because they're untrue. Are you looking at the tune?
Yeah.
Are you looking for names?
No, I'm just reading. I'm just reading panels. It's like people might wonder why I'm making such a fuss over the ending of a web novel, but this story in particular is very important to me. I've been reading this series since I was in 8th grade. I read it when I was bullied at school, when I failed my entrance exams and ended up at a 3rd-rate college, when bad luck got me stationed on the front line during my military service, and even now as an unstable contract worker getting transferred from company to company. Dang it, what's the point anyway? I don't have a single happy memory.
You know, that's that poor sad boy. having a lot more knowledge of where this goes and actual flashbacks about those different times in his life he is just saying very quickly. I'm like, baby, it's okay to cry. It actually was really hard. Like, I failed my entrance exam. It's so much worse than that. You know, like when you have trauma and you're like, I have to say it lightly or else I will break.
And he does say it quietly, like it's like not even in his head. It's almost like he whispers it quietly.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm so sad. But I have the last lines of 3 ways to survive the apocalypse here.
Give it to me.
There are 3 ways to survive the apocalypse. Everything is fading and becoming unclear now. But one thing is certain. If you're reading this, you will survive. The end. Will is emphasized. Mm-hmm. So they're talking to him.
Yes. Yes, they are. Not that I know that for any certainty because the webtoon isn't done. But if I read the comic, yes, full circle. These writers, pretty good at what they do.
And of course, he sends a little comment like, "Thank you for writing this. It's meant a lot to me."
Yeah, he was like, I should give the writer something. I have no money to donate, so I will leave a comment. Comments on people's work.
Leave comments.
When they put it out is really important. Leave comments.
We appreciate it, like legit.
Yes.
Not even for the cynical reasons about engagement and all that junk. Like, it's actually really nice to see comments.
Yeah, when you put something out in the world and the void says something back, something kind.
Right. And the creator surprisingly reaches out to him.
Yeah, the creator of Twasa. And sends him a message that says, thank you so much for, like, replying to the message he sent. Thank you so much for sticking around this whole time. You're great. This is about to be serialized, so I want to send you a little gift.
We're going to put this behind a paywall, so it will be going away, but here's a gift.
Yeah. He's like, can I have your email address so I can send you a gift? And he was like, oh, cool. Here you go.
But we don't get to learn what the gift is right away because something else happens that's unexpected.
I think you do learn.
You do, but later. Like, he doesn't get to open it.
Yeah, okay.
What happens?
Oh, you're asking me. Well, much like the episode title informs you, the trial on Earth ends. The free trial on Earth ends, and now they are included in the ending of the world.
A battle world.
Yes.
And an ancient demon and or like game construct appears in their subway car.
It's a goblin.
It's a goblin. It's a Korean
Dweki.
word is used.
Dweki.
Huh?
Not Dweki. Yeah, Dweki.
Dokebi?
Dokebi. Sorry, I was like saying something else, and I was like, wait, that's a pig rabbit. Dokebi.
Dokebi. It's a little goblin man in a like barbarian like onesie, like toga, I guess.
In a brown satchel toga, it feels like.
Yeah, it's got horns and it's adorable.
It is adorable.
Unless it does like a really hyper stylized like close up of its eyes and horns, then it looks terrifying.
Yes, and its teeth.
Yeah, and it's just like floating in their subway car saying, "All right, we're packing it up. Free trials ended. You've all enjoyed such a
Time to earn your keep."
Yeah, you've all enjoyed such wonderful lives up to now, but now you gotta, earn a chance to stay around.
Yeah.
And it becomes a video game.
Yes.
That was something I found interesting after we read both their comics together. Mm-hmm. Both of them are very much rooted in game culture.
Yes.
Or like gaming systems for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was like this goblin is trying to explain something, and like some guy is like, "Hey, I have an audition to make. I'm a famous actor. I gotta get out. I gotta
get out of here to get to my next gig."
Yeah, I don't have time for these games.
Yeah.
And then the goblin does what to shut him up?
Puts him to sleep forever by exploding his head.
Oh, explodes his head. This comic is rated T for teen, but it is quite violent.
It's violent and gory, guys. It is the end of the world, and they mean it.
Yep. So yeah, this goblin is exploding heads. Anyone who bothers them, their head explodes.
Yep.
Including like an old man who says, "I don't have time to play these games. How about I just give you $1 million or something?"
His head does not get exploded.
Oh, okay.
I say that very specifically because you're gonna see him again.
Okay. Well, this guy tries to bribe the goblin.
Yes. I've got money. Money will save my life. No, it won't.
And I say this as somebody who has not read the comic all the way through, only this first chapter, but it seems like this goblin represents some kind of like higher power that oversees multiple universes.
Yes.
Or multiple instances of the same universe or something? Or planets?
No.
I'm guessing. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, yes, but also no.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, either way, this higher power is saying, all right, all these human beings on Earth, it's time to play a game.
Yes. I mean, I don't mind, like, if you're gonna do you mind if I tell you what it is?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically what ends up happening is this particular one pops up. It's Byung, I can't remember its channel name, but it has a channel name, and there are hundreds of thousands of these things, and they each get an area. And basically in that area, they're like, find the most compelling ones to follow.
Find the main characters.
Find the main characters of who are the most interesting and compelling people to follow as they go up and down. And this means both like heroes and villains. And this is all being broadcast to celestial beings, which as you go on, you find out are different creatures of myth. And when you think creatures of myth, you think, oh, Greek. Like, yep, there are those in there, but there are Japanese myths.
I have a quote on that.
There are Korean. There are so many more that you didn't need, like Chinese. There's a lot of Asian ones where I'm like, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. And you get a lot of like Korean history in it too, which is really, really fun for people who have no idea. I mean, you get it, but also some of it's fake. So look it up. And yeah, it's just, it's much like if you've seen Hunger Games. It's broadcasted to these people or these beings, and the beings will be like, I'm gonna make a contract with that one, and I'm gonna give that one some of my celestial power, and like the power differentiates depending on what your myth is, you know, and what your legend is, and how and like the more you are known, the more powerful you are. And people can, like, you can sign deals with and watch people do stuff. I still don't know why they do it. I'm not far enough in to know, like, what's the point of this. But it's happening all around this planet Earth. And then there are multiple other universes that this is happening around as well, and realms that are doing the same thing. And yes, and these dokebi are basically the cameras. Their eyes are the cameras that project to the network.
So it's Hunger Games or The Running Man or what was that popular Korean show that was on Netflix that everyone was watching during the pandemic?
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, Mr. Beast's dumb show.
No. That they full on ripped from Squid Game.
I know. But it's definitely topical, you know.
Yeah.
I think the show has something to say about reality TV, you know, social media,
the show?
Influencer culture.
Which show?
Or not this show, but like this comic.
Yes, okay. You said show, and I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
And you said we got to find the main characters, right? It reminds me of certain dumb people who say, I'm the protagonist and all of you are NPCs.
People say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very rich, powerful people, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I'm not watching those channels.
And then also it's kind of I think about Twitter used to get a lot of flack because there used to be like, not officially, but Twitter, by the way its algorithm worked and how engagement worked, there was always somebody deemed the villain of the day. So based on trends and like engagement and popularity and like certain topics that would end up trending on a certain day, someone would have a take, and that person just out of their control would become the villain of the day, and everyone would dogpile on them.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. So that reminds me of this as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's a villain of the day or a hero of the day kind of thing.
Yeah, except these ones, they have villains, and there are just like beings out there that are like, I just want to see mayhem. Yes, give you more power so that you can subjugate and murder and steal. So it is really like, there's so much, like, I'll say this at the end, but it really is like so much fun to read and to like watch all of it play out, you know?
Yeah.
As and it becomes very, very meta, right? Because like you are, as the reader of this, then becoming almost like one of these celestial beings that are watching just all of these things play out and hoping for like, well, this is the character I'm going for, or I want for this, and da 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 da. So there's a lot of layers that are built into this. And even more so, like the deeper you get into it, like there's a whole thing with the fourth wall. There's a whole thing with the fourth wall, my love.
There are so many similarities between our two webcomics.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to mention the same things.
I feel like you should read the rest of my webcomic, and I should read the rest of yours, and we should talk about it.
Maybe so. Maybe we'll do that. Follow up to this episode. We got nothing better to do.
I got plenty of things better to do. I'm going to the Ren Fair this week. Matter of fact, when you're listening to this, I've already been to the Ren Fair.
All right. But I have a quote about mythology that Sing Shang said to the Yen Press. Quote, while writing Omniscient Reader Viewpoint, we read a variety of mythological books. Some mythological figures came to mind immediately when researching materials, and some mythological figures were organized separately for later use, but were never used.
Huh.
Since we used myths by summoning the necessary figures as the story progressed, we think there was not enough space to cover all the mythologies from all countries. Personally, we regret not being able to use more Celtic mythology, East Asian mythology, and Jeju mythology.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
That's really, I'm going to look into like the specific mythology of Jeju because that's interesting. I mean, as writers, isn't it really annoying when you do a bunch of research and you're like, man, that would have fit really well, but I don't have space for it? Yeah. I like want a moment of silence for that because I'm like, oh man, the things that could have been if you were like, I could go for another, because there was already 100 chapters. There's already 100 chapters.
That's how you get like freaking J.R.R. Tolkien like writing 1,000 appendices to his books.
This is why, even though I hate the like saying kill your darlings when it comes to writing, sometimes I don't think you should kill your darlings. I think you should move your darlings to the next book. Like
which they did.
Yes, which is like find a new thing for that. Because like, yeah, you're like, I did all this research and for what? I'm going to show you and what? Sorry, so Dokubi.
All right, so this Dokubi, he's a game show host, and he's like, all right, game number 1, or challenge number 1, here we go. The main scenario number 1 is called Prove Your Value.
Yep.
Kill one or more living organisms.
Yep.
Category main, difficulty F, time limit 30 minutes, reward 300 coins, penalty for failure, death.
Death.
They're using coins.
Yep.
Like Super Mario.
Yeah, and so like that is the drop-in for this scenario, for this world. So it's really interesting when you watch Dokcha try to like figure out what's happening. I think it's interesting because as a reader you go, well, you've read this book your whole life, so you know what's happening. But how long does that like disbelief last before you start taking action, being like, well, wait a minute.
It takes a while. Like, I think that everyone in the train car, like, understandably is like, what's happening? Is this a prank? Like a public prank? Is not Ashton Kutcher, but is like
punked?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But like, that's old. But I'm like, is Mr. Beast doing this?
Is this a social experiment?
Right.
They're asking us to murder?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, as soon as this thing explodes ahead, then I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, well, he said he was an actor, so maybe this is part of a gig. So for everyone else on that train, I get being like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
But for Kim Dokcha, I'm like, no, because you would also be like, I'm asking you, like in that situation, and you're like, this is how my favorite book about the end of the world begins.
Right. That we haven't said that. Like, Dokja realizes that all the events that are happening on his train are how his favorite story started.
Yeah. So like he sees the email and he clicks to open it. Yeah. And it's like, and then a voice rang out and it hit 7 p.m. A voice rang out. It said these things. A thing appeared and I'm like, hold up. Wait. Am I dreaming? Am I sick? And then,
am I being pranked? Like, what is this?
And like, this thing just ended. And then it's like, it takes him, in my opinion, if this was real, a little too long to get on.
It does drag, like, I mean, just on a pacing level, it does drag a little bit in the middle, Yeah. We were kind of like, all right, where are we going? But I mean, they focus on understandable reactions to this happening.
Yeah, and even in that, when he's like, I think the writing is done well because it also shows how Dokcha is in general and how he works through things in kind of an analytical nature. He's like, oh my gosh, is this real? Is this happening? A head explodes. What's going on? Like, okay, well, the next thing that should happen. Yes, I'm now seeing this happen and this happen. And okay, we are here. We got to figure out something because like in the book, this is a thing that happened. And I'm here now. I got to figure it out because I know that if I don't, that time counter that just went from 30 minutes to 10, I'm going to die. And watching him then like figure it out and then on the fly be like, I'm in this book, but I've got to change this book. Right. So in the first chapter of this for him, not just the actual first chapter, 2 main characters from the book appear in his train car. And one of them, he's like, holy crap, that's a real person from my book. And I'm standing next to a real person I used to work with, like that I work with. These two things are in the same universe.
Yeah.
And he's doing and saying all the stuff that that should have. And the president is gone. And
yeah, they go on social media and someone's like, oh no, the president's dead. His head exploded.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he sees another character where but he's looking for the main character, and he's like, the actual main character that you follow for the whole book is not in here. And he's like, thank God. Okay, he's in the other booth. But he sees another character who is a mainstay in the book, and he says to himself, I always hated this character. We ain't letting him make it out on chapter 1. And so it's really interesting to watch him go like, what is happening? Okay, we don't have time to figure out what's happening. Let's survive. Oh, let's change this. If I'm going to be here, we're changing that. And I think that that's the thing that really captures me for this novel, even though other novels do kind of the same thing, where they're like, oh, well, I know how this is supposed to go. It is his like willful changing of certain things, but also his, like, as you keep reading, he does not want to be the main character. He's doing a lot of stuff that is putting him in the forefront. And he's like, I will not be the main character, though. I'm going to make sure to get a bunch of buffs to protect myself. And if that also happens to mean I'm, like, joining friends with people I know who survive, great. But I'm not the main character. And it's really, like, in those first few, like, chapters, those first few panels, watching how he takes his time to figure out, how do I rewrite what I already know about this to benefit me, is really good. Yeah, and so for me, I'm like, when I reread it, I'm like, oh, it takes him too long to like decide that this is real. But then I'm like, but it lines up.
Yeah.
The writing is solid.
You mentioned one of the main characters that he spots in the train. Is that the bad guy that we meet?
Yes, it's both the tank and the kid, the psycho edgelord kid.
Psycho edgelord kid.
And the army
guy.
I
have both their names. So the edgelord kid is named
Kim.
Namun Kim.
Yeah, Namun Kim. Kim Namun.
And the soldier man is
I need a soldier.
Hyung-sung Lee.
Hyung-sung?
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 He's known as the Steel Blade. Republic of Korea Army Lieutenant.
Yeah, I think that, again, really fun, because he's like, I know who this character is going to be. Right now, they are nobody, but I know what their power is going to be and like where they're going to like flourish. In the book, he became the Steel Blade, but right now, he's just a low-level lieutenant.
And that's something you learn. Everyone in the story, at least like I guess all the main characters, like eventually they gain like a special skill.
Yes, and that is because of how they make contracts with the Celestials.
Got it.
Yeah, and so all of that comes, like, they borrow the power from the people who like have contracted with them.
I can't remember, what is edgelord kid's secret power?
Edgelordiness. Oh, hold on.
Does he have super strength? I can't remember.
He did have strength. He got strength really quickly.
I know Dokja gets like plot armor, right?
Yeah, Dokja gets a lot. All of his is reading based.
Like he knows the future because he read ahead.
Yes.
So he can dodge attacks.
He gets speed reading. He gets like the more you know a character, the more they're like debuffed against you. So like when you have an understanding of a character, you're able to read what they're going to be doing really quick, like really well. If you really really know them, you can just straight up read their minds. Like, and
then the edgelord guy tries to stab him, but he can't stab him because he has too much health or something. Or he has like buff, like a shield buff or something.
Yeah, he like uses a buff really quickly. I can't find Namun's power, but he gets real strong real quick. I found it. Sponsoring cancel excessive. So his stats are he's 19. Exclusive attribute edgelord common.
Common.
Exclusive skills, abnormal adaptivity, level 3, knife fighting, level 1, dark awakening, level 1, in his summary, he is edgy. He is an edgy teenager who fully embraced his inner darkness following an extraordinary event. Getting involved with him is not recommended.
And you would imagine, and you get this in a lot of apocalypse fiction, but like, you know, there's somebody who's just going to thrive in the lawless world that is, you know, like the structures of society kept them in check.
Yep.
As soon as those restrictions are lifted, cool. I'm just going to start murdering people.
This 19-year-old immediately starts to beat a grandmother to death.
Yes.
He's like,
I'm going to win this game.
Yeah. He's like, this sounds great. This is wonderful. It's not. And our hero, Kim Dok-ja, was like, nah, he's got to die. I don't want to deal with him out there, because when he does get powerful, he gets more crazy because that enhances his power the more he like pulls away from, you know, morality. He was like, nope, this kid can't live. Gotta kill this baby.
Yep. And I didn't notice this at first, but it was foreshadowed early on when I reread it. It's like, oh, there's a little kid on the train with a little
terrarium.
A little container full of crickets.
Yep.
So Dokja quickly acts and says, I know what to do. I'm going to kill this cricket.
Yep. And so that's the thing. Like,
he releases crickets into the train.
Yeah, he releases them saying like, hey, it just says that we got to kill a living thing. It doesn't mean we have to kill a person. And then releases crickets into the train. And so that's the thing. Like, when you're like, it takes him too long to act. But like, once he acts, he's now been like, I'm looking at everything. What can I use to make sure that we get out of here? And I can do my best to not murder.
I was going to say also, you know, on a very specific level, bacteria are living things.
Yeah.
So if you can somehow kill a bacteria.
Yeah, this was, remember this ended, the web novel ended in 2020.
Yeah, right before COVID.
Right before COVID. So it might have been a little bit different.
But viruses aren't living things. Bacteria is.
Yes, but people didn't carry on hand sanitizer like that until after 2020.
In Korea they did probably. I don't know.
Not like that.
I'm just saying, like, you get some Windex and just spray it. You're like, I've killed bacteria.
I've done it.
Anyway. Yeah, so I can't remember how this ends. I assume it ends on a cliffhanger because when I tried to read it, I ran out of free views on the webtoon.
Hilarious. You should have just asked me. I have the book.
I didn't realize you had the book.
Yeah, so it ends with the murder of Kim Namjoon. Namjoon? Is it Namjoon?
The edgelord?
Yeah.
Namoon.
I was like, Kim Namjoon is the leader of BTS, so I'm not gonna say out loud. So people Kim Namjoon is not dead. Kim Namu, I'm not looking at it. It's fine. It ends with his death, and everybody, not everybody surviving, but some people surviving in the train because some of them killed some crickets. The thing is, there weren't. I mean, read it. I'm not going to tell you. So that's how it ends, and the first part ends, and that's as much.
I don't know what happens.
I know everything that happens, not everything, because I didn't read the novel. But yeah,
and so that's kind of the first act of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. So I always ask, would you recommend?
Absolutely,
this
100%.
book?
I recommend it all the time to so many people, all the time.
Like, if I wasn't currently also rereading another webcomic that we might be talking about very soon, I would consider continue reading this one.
Once you finish,
considering you have the book, I might read it.
Yeah, I only have like the first few. I'm gonna get I don't have the most two recent. That's coming out of our pockets pretty soon, Bubba.
You can donate some coffee to us. You can help us buy this book by donating to our coffee
For sure.
account.
I also have them all paid on my webtoon. I will just give you access to my webtoon on your phone.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But I absolutely recommend this. I think that it's so very, very good on many levels. It is gory, but the story itself is so very funny, so well written, and you like learn a lot of stuff. And honestly, as a writer, like how things connect, it's so. I've read it through like 5 or 6 times. It's not done. Right now, it's been like. I haven't gone back to it probably in 6 months because I like to have a lot of chapters to read, and I've got like 40 new chapters to read. So I'm going to go back through and read all the way up, and they're like in 390 right now.
And the art's good.
The art's so good.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty well done comic.
It's so good.
Yeah. But what did the world think? A few stats on that.
Tell me your stats, man.
This comes from The Beat. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is regarded as one of the most successful webtoon titles internationally, with 286.4 million views, 3 million followers, and an average user rating of 9.9 out of 10 on the global online platform.
Yes, well deserved. Accolades.
Omniscient Reader has invited many positive reviews. Substack's Turtle Me, for example, declared the series, quote, unmatched in a lot of its qualities, from fantastic art to imaginative storytelling. Casey Woods of Sequential Planet, meanwhile, praised the series' beautiful artwork and phenomenal story idea.
Yeah.
But not all reviews were positive. Brandon Scott of Sci-Fi Bloggers, for example, called Omniscient Writer, quote, quite shallow and basic, citing the story's lack of stakes and its, quote, cheap power fantasy archetypes.
Boo, Brandon. Boo that Brandon.
I'm using, like, I realized in the past I haven't said the names of reviewers if you weren't Roger Ebert. And I'm trying it out just to see, and I think I now know why I don't do that. 'Cause you make it personal.
I'm sorry. We can take it back.
Sci-fi bloggers, you know.
No, go ahead.
Talk
Tell
to
us
your
about
boy.
Brandon. Tell us about Brandon and his bad takes.
That's all I got.
Yeah, it's the only take, Brandon. It's your only bad take.
All right, and where did the Omniscient Reader Viewpoint go from here?
Tell me.
I have more. It has legacy. It does.
I know it does.
The Omniscient Reader webtoon is ongoing, with the 298th episode having just been released at the time of writing. My note-taking.
Ah.
The English version is at 296.
Ah.
The series so far has been collected into 14 volumes, 11 in English.
I only have. Oh man, we're gonna make some purchases soon, Bubba.
The novel and webtoon served as the basis for the 2025 live-action feature film Omniscient Reader: The Prophecy,
Yep.
directed by Kim Byung-woo.
Yep, I know.
Have you seen it?
I've seen posters. I did not watch it, even though the person who's playing Jung Hyuk, I like him as an actor. I like him in most of the stuff I've ever seen him in, but I also know it is basically just the first 2 chapters of, like, it's the end of this. What is it? The first chapter, which is the end of the trial period, and then the second chapter, and I'm not excited about it. So
Let me just say this: the Omniscient Reader SEO is currently completely taken up by the movie. You
Yeah.
Google Omniscient Reader, you get the movie.
Yep. And I was like, I'm not watching that. I'm not doing it. No.
And finally, an anime adaptation of Omniscient Reader was announced at Anime Expo 2024. Though the series has been confirmed to air on Crunchyroll, no further updates have been provided.
Yep. I mean, I'd watch the anime.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch the live action version of this.
That's all we got for Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, at least for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have any sound effects or clips for this segment, so I didn't really come up with a song to end on. Do you have, I don't know, a song that would fit to end this segment?
My brain,
going into break?
Because I kept going Kim Namjoon instead of his actual name, we should put it.
A BTS song?
Not a BTS, specifically just RM.
Was there a song that artist has put out about the end of the world?
No, but I think that no, his actually RM's solo stuff is so vibey that it would not fit this. So probably just doing Run by BTS, Run BTS.
All right.
The like chorus there, I was like, it works.
All right,
It just says Run.
We're gonna close with BTS, Run, and we'll be back after the break with my favorite webcomic.
See you over there.
Okay, let's go. Run, bulletproof, run, yeah, you got it. Run, bulletproof, run, yeah, you got it. Run, bulletproof, run, yeah, you got it. Run, bulletproof, run. Okay, let's go. 내가 말했어, 너는 너의 비가 새는 작업 싫었어. 강수를 까매신 사랑이나 하메라 재밌던 그만 성공하면 나를 뒤져서 방탄의 성공. 유나도 몰라도 저기 어디서 우리들이 모두 새빠진 게 다른 거지 뭐라던 다른 거지 답은 여기서. We'll be right back on Nick.
The story I loved, that meant everything to me, has become reality.
The first main scenario is starting.
You must kill at least one living organism.
coins have been spent on strength.
Dear author, I wanted a different ending.
Why do you think you have to do something? Remember, Dokja, you're nothing.
Hey, you Jung-yuk! Together with my companions, we will write a new ending to this story.
We're back
We're back.
with a song from a webcomic. Those happen.
They do.
Some webcomics have soundtrack albums. Some have 30. Something like that. But that's, the song's called Killed by Break Spider. 8 exclamation points. What am I thinking? There's got to be 8 of them.
3 exclamation. Wait, my
Break
eyes
is spelled
deceive me.
BR8K.
BR8K, and that's why there's 8 exclamation marks.
Yes.
Got it.
It's a reference to a character. 8's her thing.
Because she's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's my favorite character.
Oh, wow.
Okay, hey, yeah, so this is a song from a webcomic. I'll introduce that webcomic right now, I suppose.
I'll allow it.
Debuting April 13th, 2009. There's a reason we're releasing today. Created by Andrew Hussey, the 4th in his MS Paint Adventures web series, Homestuck.
Homestuck.
Yep.
That's part of the theme song. I just sang it right now.
Let me tell you about Homestuck.
Yes, please. I know nothing about Homestuck. Please educate me.
I feel like,
Homeschool me.
I feel like on our first date, I explained what Homestuck was to you.
You might have.
Yeah. It's a very formative piece of fiction in my life.
And should you have been reading it as young as you were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was freaking 20.
It was
Yeah.
such a young boy.
19 years old.
Just a big baby.
All right, Homestuck. It's hard to explain because it's very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in like its format, like the story is complicated. The simplest way to explain it, and I've heard a few people describe it this way. It's a webcomic about 4 teenage friends who play a video game together.
Yes.
The simplest way possible, but it also involves time travel, meta narratives, the author himself as a character, internet memes, internet culture, alternate dimensions.
It's everything but the kitchen sink. Everything but the kitchen sink.
I think the kitchen sink itself is a character.
That's true.
But yeah, Homestuck. Did you hear about it through me?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Of course. I was like, I evangelized all our friends.
Yeah. I was like, of my niche things that I enjoy, this is not one I came by in the wilds.
I definitely got our friends Ben and Jake to read at least some of it. I don't know if they finished it, but I think I introduced it to you, and you at least, I think, to get to know me better, tried to listen to the read-throughs, the fan dubbed read-throughs
Yeah,
people do.
I was flirting with you by watching dubs on YouTube.
Yes. But I was introduced to Homestuck through this very song.
Where did you hear it?
On Facebook.
Oh.
A friend of mine named Scott. Not that Scott. A different Scott. The
Beam me up, Scott.
the child savant Scott.
Ah.
This kid skipped 3 grades.
Oh, that must have been hard.
He graduated he graduated the same year I did, but he was much younger than all of us.
I wouldn't want to do that. I
Yeah.
need to be with my peers.
I don't know if he went to MIT or whatever, but yeah, brilliant kid, but nerdy, just like me. And on Facebook, he just paste, people do that. You just paste like music to Facebook, like a
Yeah.
YouTube link.
That's a thing. Neither of us have had Facebook for over a decade.
Oh, for sure. But back then, yeah, you're just like, hey, here's a YouTube video of a song that I like, but like no context, no words, just song. And the album cover is of two alien kids playing like a linked Game Boy game. So I was like, oh, that's cool art, I couldn't tell if this was from a video game, if this was like because I was really into like game inspired like alt rock and punk rock at the time,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, is this like a rock band doing
like Anamanaguchi, but something new?
Yes. So I click it and I'm like, this song rocks. What is this from? And I message him, hey, what is this? Oh, it's from a webcomic. It's called Homestuck. I was like, cool. And
Cool.
I go to the website, mspaintadventures.com.
And you got lots of viruses.
No.
I'm kidding.
A lot of ads for adult websites.
Yes.
But you start reading Homestuck and you're like, what is this? Homestuck is almost impenetrable.
Yeah.
To like just get started on. Like
Yeah.
it's built on a lot of inside jokes in a format that existed up to, that had previously existed with other webcomics. Mm-hmm. Because it's the fourth in a series. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't even know how to start this.
Yeah.
So I was very confused, and I had to I bounced off Homestuck, the comic, several times before it clicked, and I got it. And I think I'm going to try it. This episode is going to be us trying to onboard people.
Get everybody else to read the Homestuck.
Yes. But I never stopped listening to the music. I found their Bandcamp page and just listened to Homestuck music, and the music itself, because again there are like 30 soundtrack albums for this comic. Mm-hmm. The creator I think he paid these people, but
That's
a lot of like readers who were fans of the comic wrote music inspired by the comic that were then collected into soundtrack albums and were used in the comic.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so I was listening to the soundtrack albums and I thought they were really cool because it was a mix of like, live instrumentation, a lot of synth stuff, video game inspired tracks, like 8-bit music. So it was just a collection of tunes, and I thought they were good. So I wanted to hear these songs in context. So that's what pushed me to get more and more into Homestuck until it did click. Then I was obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many chapters did it take you to click?
It clicked by halfway through like the first act, I suppose.
The first act that we went through?
Yes.
Interesting.
And I can explain why when we get into when we describe what it is. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my story with Homestuck. And then obviously I've read, because it was serialized and ongoing, I think I read up to like the current release like 3 or 4 times, and it hadn't finished yet. So I caught back up each time. Mm-hmm. And then there were multiple pauses where he would, hey, I'm going on the gigapause. So
Gigapause.
No updates for a year.
Yeah.
No updates for 6 months. And finally, I think I've only read the whole thing all the way through one time collectively because the last few chapters were kind of dropped all at once. Well, I should talk about what the heck Homestuck is and how it was created.
Because there's probably a lot.
I think it's helpful to understand the creation of Homestuck in order to get into it. Because again, I had no idea what Homestuck was. I had no context for it. So jumping in without any explanation is confusing.
Yeah. I would have to agree, son.
On September 25th, 2006, American author and artist Andrew Hussey launched the very first MS Paint adventure, titled Jailbreak, in the discussion forums of his website, Team Special Olympics, which he had been running since 2003.
Okay. Team Special Olympics or Teen?
Team Special Olympics. I have not read that. I don't know, but I guess he was just an independent
That's a website.
Content creator. Yeah.
And he just had his own website to put stuff up on?
Yeah. And it was like a collection of him and his friends, works. I should say this. The best way to read Homestuck, I'll just say this off the jump, is I think now definitely bootlegged version of the Homestuck EXE launcher. The unofficial Homestuck Collection EXE launcher, which is a browser. It's not even browser based. You download it to your computer. a bunch of fans, because what happened was Homestuck was ran like it was uploaded and updated on his website using Flash, GIFs. There were a lot of hyperlinks to external sources. Link rot's real.
Yeah.
Link rot, where
Yeah.
hyperlinks and website links were just
Dead.
They just die.
They don't go nowhere. 404.
Right. And so same thing. Flash is dead.
Yeah.
So a lot of the native Flash animations don't work anymore. So they had to be re-updated as like static videos.
Yeah.
But you lose things when something's made in Flash, you lose certain things when it's translated into a static video. Anyway, a bunch of crazy fans decided to archive all of Homestuck in its its original form, the best they could.
Glory.
And so that's part of the unofficial Homestuck collection, and it's like meticulously curated. It's incredible what these fans did. Problem is, the current owners of Homestuck, which I believe is Viz Media, they don't like that. They've tried to shut it down, and I was able to snag it before it went offline. I think you can still find bootlegged versions of it, but this launcher also includes all of the past MS Paint adventures and all of Andrew Hussey's previously existing works. So Team Special Olympics is present on this launcher.
Oh, wow.
So you can read all of that stuff if you want.
Dang. Which,
I didn't.
I'm sure that it was dated and some of the things people found funny or talkable about. So don't read that.
I'm sure there's problematic stuff in Homestuck too, being a product of early internet.
I believe you.
Yeah, or I guess like early Web 2 internet. Web 2 is like the platform, like the internet we currently live on. Post like Facebook launch, platform based.
Yeah.
That's Web 2. Web 1 is like GeoCities.
GeoCities.
All right, point being, talk about Jailbreak. Presented as a pseudo text adventure video game, Jailbreak was a forum game that followed a crudely drawn man trapped in a prison cell. With the goal of escaping the cell, readers suggested actions the character should take. The first suggestion anyone posted in the forum, no matter how ridiculous, would be incorporated into the game, and Hussey would draw the next panel to show the outcome of that action.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
That is an MS Paint adventure.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good way to build an audience.
It's
engagement.
It's kind of a play on choose your own adventure books and stories, but then it's also a lot of like user engagement. So it's a game. He did it on the forums, right?
Yeah.
Though Jailbreak went unfinished, he didn't really. He kind of finished it later as like a joke in Homestuck, but it went unfinished. He did carry on the MS Paint Adventures concept forward with Bard Quest the following year. This was the first comic hosted on the brand new MS Paint Adventures website.
New home.
Rather than the first reader action submitted as in Jailbreak, Hussey utilized a suggestion box to drive the plot of Bard Quest and future adventures forward. Hussey would pick and choose the suggestions to implement in order to craft a more coherent story. So obviously, like, if he's just taking the first suggestion, and as more readers come in and suggest more things, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
they're like, we can do this. So having a suggestion box does make sense.
exactly. So he'd be like, okay, I like that one. That I feel like that action would be funny. And so there's still like a lot of jokes, and he's got a good sense of humor, but he can at least keep things more managed.
Right.
Bard Quest also went unfinished, however, but it was again a good learning experience for him. I think he tried to like go full choose your own adventure books where you like jump back and forth in the story, but got too complicated. So
that's why he decided, like, so when you say it didn't finish, it was just him being like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. So
Fair.
he finally, the third MS Paint adventure titled Problem Sleuth actually did reach its conclusion. That one's based on like, it's kind of a parody of like noir detective stories. There are three main characters. They're trapped in their office. Think like Eddie Valiant from Roger Rabbit, but he's just trapped. He's trapped in his office and he doesn't know why. And so it's about them trying to like
get out of
there. And I've read Problem Sleuth, and it like descends into like eldritch horrors and time travel and goofiness.
Okay,
it's
fine.
silly.
Yeah.
It's very, very silly, and there are a lot of Problem Sleuth references in Homestuck.
Right.
A lot of inside jokes.
Yeah.
So if you're a Homestuck fan, you probably should read Problem Sleuth because you'll get more of the jokes. Following the misadventures of three hard-boiled detectives, Problem Sleuth ran from March 10th, 2008 to April 7th, 2009, with 1,674 total pages, and it grew a sizable readership.
Okay.
Think about that. He finished Problem Sleuth, and less than a week later, he launched his fourth adventure.
He had to have been working on it.
I think so.
But like that's a really good way to like keep your viewership intact, especially if you were already doing week to week. You're like, Problem Sleuth is coming out each week. This is the last Problem Sleuth. Hey, I got a new one next week.
Right.
It's good marketing, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just, management of the following.
And he says here, he put it on his blog, which is also archived on that launcher, by the way. On his blog, he said, quote, "A couple hundred people turned in for the first day, a couple 100,000 turned in on the last day." So I think at that point, he's like, oh, this is my cash cow.
Yeah. This is my job.
Right.
This is my career.
Right.
This is how I will be paying my mortgage.
They didn't even have like Patreon back then. So he's like making money from ads on his website,
those
probably
bad ads.
And like merch.
Yeah. Oh, did he ever eventually get a Patreon?
I think Homestuck has a Patreon now, but it's run by he is like executive producer. There are like other people making Homestuck now.
Got it.
Homestuck has continued. I will talk about that. For his next MS Paint adventure, Hussey decided to center the story around a group of teenagers playing a video game together. As I said, okay, it's much more complicated than that. From his blog, he said that he came up with the idea for Homestuck, quote, "at some point during the last few months of working on Problem Sleuth. The inspiration centered around a simple scene I had in my head, and not much else. I pictured a kid playing a game in his room, while another player manipulated his room the way you edit an environment in The Sims. I pictured the kid being able to manipulate the other kid's environment too, but it wasn't very long before I latched onto the potential conflict present in one kid strictly being at the mercy of the other. Over time, I came up with other game mechanics to complement this and add some degree of purpose. In this time, I developed this image of a story template that combined an RPG-like Earthbound with games like The Sims and Spore. Even now, that all seems like a pretty good way to describe Homestuck, though the story didn't unfold the way I pictured it all."
As it does.
So I think that with that context, the first, act of Homestuck makes a lot more sense. It's a play on video game mechanics.
Yeah.
And making fun of inventory systems.
Yeah.
And leveling up, and all this junk.
Yeah, which we could tell, right? In the first things, we're like, okay, this is a lot of game mechanics. They're doing it on purpose. They're talking about how dumb some of the systems are. So that's pretty obvious.
But it is hard to if you just jump into Homestuck without knowing that, and knowing that it's a choose your own adventure story on top of that where readers are suggesting actions.
Yeah.
They throw a lot of you all at once.
They do. I didn't know that until this moment that these were the readers were choosing actions for Homestuck.
Right.
Did that go through the whole thing?
No.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think I have a...
Oh, sorry. Him saying, the story didn't end up the way I thought it would. I was like, well, if you had other people deciding where it went, yeah.
I don't know if I might have it in my notes later, but I believe he said at some point, Act 5 of the story, he began to lean further away from reader suggestions, even though there will be points in the story where he purposely is like, all right, for the next chapter or next act, it's going to be all reader suggestions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do more of a Problem Sleuth side story.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of those where it's like, all right, it's just, madness.
I totally get it.
Reader stuff.
We're going to give the people what they want a little bit, but this is also my story and I have a place where I want it to go.
Correct. So for Homestuck, Hussey had the ambitious idea to utilize Adobe Flash, which would allow music, sound effects, and animations. And I'll let him tell you about how that went. Quote, "On April 10th, I launched the new story, Homestuck, entirely in Flash. My plan was to complete the whole story in Flash, adding interactivity, music, and stuff like that. I completed 8 pages. This turned out to be way too much work. I don't know if this has more to do with my inexperience with Flash or my proficiency with Photoshop, in which all Problem Sleuth work was done. Probably both.
Yeah.
So, in order to prevent the story from grinding to a halt down the road, I just switched back to Photoshop and started over. I kept the Flash version online and recast it as the Homestuck beta, which now appears to have been released 3 days prior to the current version, which matches events in the story, where the kid is awaiting the upcoming release of his beta video game, which released 3 days prior. There you go.
He made it work.
And you can, he links to it, and when they mention beta in the story, you can click the word beta, which has been hyperlinked, and play the Homestuck beta, which is, you and I, we went through it. Yeah. It's just like more clicking on things.
We're clicking, we're working. Yeah.
Dragging things around, music more upfront. But that stuff, he's like, nope, too much.
Too much.
So we're going to focus on Photoshop and GIFs.
Yeah.
So a lot of the animation in Homestuck is done through animated GIFs.
Honestly, good call. Too much work.
Too much work.
He didn't know how long it was going to be, but years.
He said, I don't have this part quoted, but he did it like an epic battle scene in Problem Sleuth involving like really intense Photoshop and like GIF animations, you know? Like he said, those 8 pages of Homestuck took me like just as much time to do as like that entire battle sequence in Problem Sleuth.
He's like, no.
And so on April 13th, 2009, exactly 17 years ago, Homestuck, as we know it today, officially debuted.
Woo! That was a shout of hooray.
Woo!
Woo!
It's the sound of a ghost, like Slimer. All right, Homestuck. I'm just going to read the first panel because I have them all up here.
Okay.
A young man stands in his bedroom. It just so happens that today, the 13th of April, 2009, is this young man's birthday. Though it was 13 years ago he was given life, it is only today he will be given a name. What will the name of this young man be? Do you remember? Well,
Nose picker?
Well, before we reveal what his name should be, the first panel of Homestuck, do you remember what it kind of looked like?
Like a start screen?
It's a young kid.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Uh-huh.
He's got a Slimer t-shirt on.
Yes.
Standing in his bedroom, like, as described. And he's just like a little guy. His little character doesn't have arms.
Armless little guy.
But that's a stylistic joke. They make jokes about it. But Homestuck's art design, like the character designs, when they're done like, what is it? What's the like anime style that's like super cute? Chibi style?
Chibi?
Hyper deformed?
Hyper realistic? No.
No, I think it's hyper deformed.
Okay.
Super deformed.
Okay.
But chibi. So he's like a little guy, and when they're not using their arms, they just don't have them.
Yeah.
It's probably just easier to draw that way. But
yes.
That's just part of the art design. Like they do have arms and they pick things up, and you could when they need to use their arms, they have arms.
When it is relevant, they will be armed.
Right. But and then at the bottom of the screen, it says there's a hyperlink, and it's done like a little action like you would type into a text-based adventure game. Enter name. So you click that, and again, that's the choose your own adventure part of the story. So you're clicking that as if you'd entered the action enter name.
Yeah.
And the next panel shows close-up of John, and then a
Name this guy
text field, and the text field fills up to say, Zoo Smell Poop Lord.
Yep.
And then it says, try again. John doesn't like that name.
John doesn't like that name.
In fact, his name is
John
Egbert.
John Egbert.
Yep. So John Egbert is a 13-year-old boy. He
standing in his room on his birthday.
And what does John like to do? Or what are his interests?
A really bad magic book. Magic. Hands. Cake.
He doesn't like cake.
He doesn't like cake. He doesn't like baking. He's a 13-year-old boy. Video games. Chatting with friends.
He has a variety of interests.
Yes.
As quoted in the story.
Clowns.
You have a passion for really terrible movies. You like to program computers, but you are not very good at it. You have a fondness for paranormal lore and are an aspiring amateur magician. You also like to play games sometimes.
I named all of those.
So he doesn't like cake or clowns. Those are things his dad likes. And it makes him upset.
Yes. As it does.
And this is where reading Homestuck, rereading Homestuck is a very funny experience because all of these little details that are just like quirky things for John to either like or dislike end up being almost like existential parts of the story itself. Like this grand tale of time travel and alternate dimensions and apocalypses. It all relates to him being obsessed with bad movies and and magic and ghosts and hating cake and Betty Crocker.
All of it is tied. Everything is connected.
Yes. So what are some of the bad movies that he enjoys?
Con Air.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
Con Air.
Little Monsters.
Yes.
Ghostbusters.
He likes Ghostbusters 2 specifically.
There's one with a lady on it. The poster.
That's Liv Tyler from the film Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
Or Armageddon, one of those. I think it's Armageddon. It's the one with Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay, Armageddon. Yeah.
We're supposed to watch that with Flashback, by the way.
Oh, are we? Oh,
At some
yeah,
point.
we did talk about that. Yeah. Ghost Dad.
Yes.
And he got one for his birthday, but I can't remember.
That was the Little Monsters.
That was
poster.
Little Monsters? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, all of these movies somehow become running gags and or plot points in the story itself.
Oh, no.
So we mentioned Armageddon and Deep Impact, both on his wall.
Yeah.
Those posters, just as a gag, ended up inspiring the apocalypse plot.
Yeah.
So Hussey did not have a plan.
Yeah.
He's just writing that, like, kind of just like he's thinking a few panels ahead and that's it.
Yeah.
And so when he includes dumb movies like Armageddon and Deep Impact that involve the world ending because a meteorite's going to hit the Earth or a meteor.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I should add some stakes to my story. How about a meteor hitting the Earth? Now it looks like foreshadowing.
Look at these clues I laid for myself to figure out later.
I have a fun quote from him on planning things.
Let's hear it.
From his blog. Quote, when it comes to plot elements, very little planning is done, and practically none at all before page 1.
You can tell.
A good example of the story taking an unanticipated turn is the post-apocalyptic elements, which I really had no idea I'd be getting into from the start. It all felt like a necessary dynamic to add to the game system to help raise the stakes in the story. It was actually influenced by the various apocalyptic movie posters in John's room. Quote, retroactive storytelling is a pretty common occurrence with projects like this. It often solidifies the illusion of planning. This was a case where some trivial nonsense I ejected into the story turned out to be extremely relevant. Sometimes that happens with my own nonsense. Sometimes it happens with reader-supplied nonsense. Which is fun.
He's playing a game of D&D with everyone.
Basically.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of yes-anding.
Yeah.
Right? And I played a clip from the Con Air movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Nick Cage is John's hero. There's a panel that says examine Con Air poster. So it's just a close-up, and then it's just a quote from the movie, which is, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box? And that's hyperlinked, and back in the day when you clicked it, it would go to YouTube to a scene from Con Air where that line is said.
Yep.
Now, in the launch, you click it, and it just brings up a native video that's been included in this package. Again, another example of Homestuck being a piece of hypertext fiction.
Hypertext fiction.
It's like made up of various sources. You know,
Yeah.
it's like ultra epistolary.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not just these pseudo choose your own adventure panels. There's like chat logs and interactive elements like video games and letters and notes and yeah.
Yeah.
And then the story itself being a product of the internet points out to other sources on the internet.
Yeah.
Including, movie clips and music videos and
that probably was also like such a big draw for you as well, to just like be able to like be touching a lot of things on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, this is a story that couldn't exist anywhere but the internet in its full form, Like, they've, just like with Omniscient Reader perspective or whatever, Viewpoint. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, they've published books of Homestuck, printed. But it doesn't...
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's totally not the same.
Yeah. What if it had the Frogger Price thing where you could like scan like a QR code or something, and then it would play the music or the clip.
No, it was, I think in the book itself, it just had URLs at the bottom.
That you would have to type in.
No, if you wanted to see the full thing, you'd have to type them in.
No, my gosh.
Well,
That was
luckily with
before
Homestuck,
QR
it's just like
codes.
homestuck.com/ and then the P in the number.
No. QR code. Every page.
But I mentioned the story, taking place in multiple different media. One of them is chat logs.
Right.
All the character dialogue in the story, pretty much all of it, is done through an instant messenger client like AOL Instant Messenger. It's called Pesterchum. Mm-hmm. And so John uses Pesterchum to talk to his friends, and they all have funny little
names.
Yeah, screen names. Mm-hmm. Like John is ectobiologist, and his best friend Dave is Turntech Godhead.
Yeah. I think I just realized as you were saying it that none of the dialogue between people happen, at least in the first chapter.
Not for the first 6 acts of the story.
Yeah.
There's a joke 7 acts in where the characters having reached God status. Because again, it's a play on RPGs like Earthbound and Final Fantasy and stuff. The characters do actions and they gain levels. And it's all a joke. It's like, congratulations, you've earned this many boondoggles. And you've reached the level of, Tyke Crusader. It's all stupid nonsense.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
It's just kind of excessive, esoteric, game systems that exist in his real world. And it's all just jokes on how there are just too many systems in video games.
Right.
You have to you have to keep track of all these dumb systems in a Final Fantasy game. Point being, he makes a joke late in the game where he's like, well, these characters now, they hang out with each other physically together. They're not over the internet anymore. So they have to be able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So they gain an ability to talk to each other in real life. That's
funny.
Yeah.
I think it's also oh, is that what your voice sounds like? Because they literally have only been texting each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But we should, obviously the story is not just about John, but him and his friends. So we should talk about his friends. I mentioned Dave. Dave Strider is his name. We don't actually get to see Dave in this first act.
We don't.
But let's describe Dave.
He's a 13-year-old boy with no arms and sunglasses.
He wears sunglasses. He's an edgy,
much like
hipster bro archetype. So all the more so later, there are 12 particular characters that are just online stereotypes. But in some way, John and his friends start out as online stereotypes.
Right.
Dave is a irony-obsessed edgelord teenager who likes anime and katanas and apple juice.
What's not
and rap. He likes rap and hip. He makes a lot of references to Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. He does freestyle rapping that are bad.
What? Why do you think it's bad? It could be epic. It could be so good. Do you even know what good rap is, Rodney?
He's definitely he's the type to use the word epic unironically to describe something. So I have Dave's first lines of dialogue with John. Again, this is through a chat client like AIM. So if you're nostalgic about AIM
or MSN Messenger,
yes, read Homestuck. It really is a window into 2009.
Oh my gosh, it was so long ago.
So this is Dave talking. Hey, so what sort of insane loot did you rake in today? Considering it's his birthday. And John replies, I got a Little Monsters poster. It's so awesome. I'm going to watch it again today. The apple juice scene was just so funny.
And it was. You watched that movie, right?
Oh, yeah. So not even. So it's funny. We were doing this episode. Because I had heard that Viz Media was trying to take down this Homestuck archive. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, I better get my hands on that before it goes away. So I got it. And I had just been organically rereading Homestuck before we decided to do this episode. Mm-hmm. So I was reading Homestuck and I'm like, all these movies are references. I've only seen Con Air. I haven't seen any of these other movies. I should just watch some of these just to get the idea of maybe either themes that informed Homestuck, but just to oh, this is the crap that John likes, And it's I watched Ghost Dad and Mac and Me.
Yeah.
And it's oh, these are awful.
Yeah.
And Little Monsters is like not my thing. I hate gross out humor, and this movie is all that.
Yeah.
However, but before I say this, speaking of gross out humor, it's referenced. There's a scene in the movie that's referenced here in this dialogue. Mm-hmm. So John mentions the apple juice scene, and Dave says, "Oh hell, that is a coincidence. I just found an unopened container of apple juice in my closet. It is like effing Christmas up in here."
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, John says. I just have one question, and then a word of caution. Have you ever seen a movie called Little Monsters starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage? And Dave says, but the seal on the bottle is unbroken. Are you suggesting someone put piss in my apple juice at the factory? And then they talk about it because that's what happens in Little Monsters.
Yeah.
Howie Mandel's gross monster character pees in a little kid's apple juice at night so that the kid at school would drink it. Ugh. And he does. And it's gross. It's a bad scene in a bad movie. And it is referenced here in this.
You're like, well, I didn't need that.
The point I was going to make, though, is you watch some of these movies, and I don't even know if, like, again, this is not necessarily something Andrew Hussey was, like, maybe, like, meaning to do, but you can tell these are movies that he grew up watching on, like, HBO or whatever as a kid, because there are a bunch of kid movies from the 80s and 90s.
Right.
And it's interesting to see how those types of movies informed his sense of humor and, like, how he writes kid characters, you know, because Mac and Me, Little Monsters, those types of movies, they are like kids in peril movies, you know? And there's it's interesting because like at that time, it's sort of like, and I think this has to do with like kids' toys at the time too, you know, like kids' toys are all about kids, your parents suck. They don't get your toys, you know. You should, you know, gross your mom out. Gross out your little sister.
Make them go, ooh.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of like antagonism between like kids and adults in kids media at the time.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see how that bleeds into Homestuck. Because it's a group of kids. The main character are 4 teenage kids. And they all have parental issues, right? But it's all built on like misunderstandings about their parents.
Yeah.
Or their like parental figures, you know, that kind of thing. And so it's kind of interesting. They all have like kind of drama with their parents, but it's mostly in their own head. You know?
Like you were saying, reading it as an adult, you're like, these parents are doing a great job.
Right. Okay, we'll say Little Monsters is a bad example. The dad's an awful man.
Oh, sorry. I meant in
Homestuck, yes. Yeah. But ignoring the fact that the dad in Little Monsters is bad, what I appreciated about watching Little Monsters was he didn't do a good job, but you could tell the writer wanted to say something about kids encountering troubles early in life. Like, how do they confront things like divorce and your parents being dissatisfied with their jobs and their lives, right? Like, how does a young adolescent deal
with that trickle down?
Confront issues that their parents are facing, or like, you know, the problems of adult life without all the context of being an adult. So the kid lashes out and gets upset and breaks things. He doesn't even want to. He's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. What, you know, like an angsty teenager will just like, I don't know why I'm so angry.
I just know I am.
And the movie is like, it manifests as these, you know, Howie Mandel's monster character. And I see similar things in Homestuck where it is saying something about how adolescents confront, you know, adult life through their parents.
Interesting.
So we should talk about like John's dad, for example. Like John's dad is a wonderful man.
He is. He's quite nice.
He's just a mild-mannered businessman. He wears a suit and tie all the time and a nice fedora hat. And
he likes to bake.
He loves baking, and he loves and he doesn't even like love clowns. Like that. Sorry, spoilers for Homestuck, like the first 2 acts or whatever. But you're under the impression because John leaves his room at some point and goes downstairs, and you see his, you know, the living environment he lives. Like describe John's house.
2-story track house.
Suburban
home where there's an upstairs, there's a downstairs with a kitchen.
But what is all
attic
around? What's you know, his dad decorates the place.
Oh, there are clowns. There are pictures of clowns. There are things. There's clowns everywhere and cake.
Like harlequins.
Yeah.
Like and the narrator through because like the narrator is kind of like speaking for John. John like, oh, Dad loves this crap.
Yeah.
And I hate it, and you learn it's a twist. You learn that it's not so much that John's dad loves clowns. John's dad thinks John loves clowns and is only buying all this clown crap because he's trying to make his son happy.
Yeah.
So he buys his son, clown dolls and things because he's under the impression that John loves clowns.
Like, this will make my son happy. And
Because-
he's so not happy.
John's dad is a lovely man. He like leaves notes all over the place like, son, I am so proud of you. You will achieve all your dreams, stuff like that,
He's a good single dad.
There's a point where there's a safe in John's dad's office with those big, heavy, like, cartoonish looking safes. Mm-hmm. And at some point through the game that they play where like one of John's friends is playing like a Sims game in John's house. Like, so John's house is like, you're manipulating like the Sims,
Right.
So she's messing around with stuff in his house. She picks up the safe and under the safe is a note that says, son, you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are a true man. Or you are now a grown man. I'm so proud of you. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, but what happens in the first chapter?
I'm still talking about John's dad.
Okay. I'm still talking about Papa.
I want to talk about Dave. So Dave lives with his brother, and Dave's brother loves puppets.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a joke where all the parental figures in the story have weird interests.
Right.
And the kids are like, they don't quite understand the love for these things, right? Like Dave thinks, oh yeah, my brother, he likes all this weird puppet stuff. He loves it ironically. He's such an ironic, hipster bro. Like he's so good at irony. He makes me think that it's almost not even ironic. And it's like, no, it's not ironic. When you learn about Dave's brother, he loves puppets. Like he just unironically loves puppets.
He's like, I love these things, man. Look at them.
They're my best friends. I love these puppets. And I'm a ventriloquist like dude. So Dave, again, not being able to confront the fact that his brother just loves puppets. He has to construct this worldview where it's like, no, it's ironic.
Because my brother's the coolest guy ever.
And then Dave's other friend, whose name is Rose, her mom loves wizards.
Yeah.
Again, you meet her mom late in the story, like, yeah, she becomes a character. And her mom just like, no, I love hot wizards.
Which, who does not love a hot wizard?
But Rose, being a teenager, thinks that her mom puts the wizards up to spite her. Like, she does it, like, it's like some kind of passive-aggressive play. But then you, like, learn, like, her mom loves to clean up and buy Rose nice things, like ponies and, expensive gifts.
Yeah.
And Rose just has contempt for these gifts because she thinks it's done passive-aggressively. But it's like, no, your mom just loves you. And she loves these wizards.
She wants to give you nice things and give herself nice things in the form of hot wizards.
That's what I'm saying. There are themes at play in Homestuck that I recognize now as an adult, being an adult and seeing them, but also like watching the media that informed it. Because you see similar things in kids' movies at the time, where the kids and the parents just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah. Parents just don't understand.
All right, we're getting to the plot, because you want to get to the plot, right? Okay, so we got to meet Rose to get the plot started, because in some ways she's like the instigator.
Right.
She's the one who connects to John's computer. And
She is the child who is controlling the room like Hussey had first thought about.
right. So she, of course, messages John through Pesterchum. Her screen name is Tentacle Therapist, because she loves...
Be very careful.
no, she likes eldritch beasts, like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And she's...
Therapy.
She likes... she likes therapy. Yeah. Psychoanalyzing her friends. There's a great... when we meet her at the end of Act 1, because you and I did read this far, Rose gets introduced as like a playable character. So
right.
the players could suggest actions for her to do. And you see her room, and on the wall in her room is a photograph of Sigmund Freud, but with a Cthulhu head.
Yeah.
And I said, I want that framed in my house.
I want that on a shirt. We don't want that in our
Sigmund
house.
Freud with a Cthulhu hat.
It could go right there in the middle.
Anyway, Rose says to John, I understand that you have recently come into possession of the beta release of the, quote, Game of the Year, as featured in respectable periodicals such as Game Bro magazine. And John says, "That's an ugly rumor. Whoever told you that is a filthy liar. And you should probably stop hitting on him all the time or whatever." She says, "I can't control myself. I must have a weakness for insufferable pricks." She's talking about Dave.
Yeah.
But she's basically saying, "Hey, John, play this game with me." Because it's all the talk in all the game magazines. And it's a game
And you're
called...
my gaming friend.
Do you remember what the game is called?
Splooge.
It's Spurb.
I was right.
I've heard, and I think it depends on...
Suburb.
SBURB, so suburb or spurb.
Yeah.
I always call in my head. I always say spurb,
Spurb.
but it's like suburb, but suburb.
Suburb.
And it's a play on The Sims,
Right.
but instead of creating a house for a little computer guy,
You get to mess with the houses in your suburb.
in your friends. Yeah, you'd mess with your friend's house across the country, and add second floors to his house or move his bathtub around. Goofy stuff like that.
Yeah. Sounds like a very dangerous game.
I also love, they mentioned Game Bro magazine. John has an issue of Game Bro in his room.
Yeah.
And you get to see an article, and it's a parody of horrible gaming press from the late 2000s. This is like right before print died. So it's like a play on EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly,
Okay.
and Game Informer, PC Gamer,
Yeah, all those things.
Nintendo Power. It was all about like 90s and 2000s game press, game coverage was like very edgy and in your face and
Right.
radical,
Radical.
bodacious.
Goodness.
So that was funny. Again,
Yeah.
it's just like a peek into what 2009 was.
Right.
So yeah, we haven't even talked about the Silodex at all, or Silodex.
We have not. I call it Scylla.
Silodex. Like we mentioned, the game is also Homestuck is a parody of RPG systems, and one of those things is like inventory systems. So when you play a video game, and you got to pick stuff up. Sometimes they're just like awful, cumbersome ways to keep all of your stuff and access it, right? So you think about like Resident Evil. You ever heard of that game?
Have I heard of it? Yes.
In Resident Evil 4, in order to pick things up and keep them in your inventory, you had a suitcase that you had to organize.
Oh, wow.
And you had to like go into your suitcase and select what you wanted. And like if you picked up another gun, you had to make sure that it fit in your suitcase.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking like Paper Mario, for example. Like sometimes it's like you pick something up, and if your inventory is full, it'll like throw something out. It's like, hey, you picked up too many items. What do you want to toss out of here? And you just like literally toss it on the floor.
Goodbye. Yeah.
So Homestuck utilizes an inventory system that is a joke on all those things. So
Right.
John has a deck of cards called his Silodex deck, and each card is a inventory slot. So he has like 10 of them or something, or 6.
Right.
So he can only carry 6 items at a time. And if he carries if he picks something up and his inventory is already full, his Silodex will just throw out the last thing in line.
And not just like fall on the ground. It gets like shotgunned into the distance.
So it's a lot of again, when I was reading this for the first time, this stuff was so confusing to me. I was like, what is even happening? So you're watching basically John fumble trying to pick things up in his room, and he keeps like dropping things or breaking things because stuff keeps getting thrown out of his inventory.
Right.
And so it's just like goofiness. And it's all meant to be slapstick and a joke on inventory systems, obviously. But I didn't understand that at the time. I was just like, what?
What is this? I don't understand.
What you asked me what got it to click.
Yeah.
When did Homestuck finally click with me? It's when I realized, it's funny to see the carnage he's leaving behind as he's going through his house picking things up and accidentally like breaking things on his way out. And I was like, how is all of the hook for me was I wanted to see how all this was going to play out. Like, would his dad find out that he toppled in their living room, his grandmother's ashes are sitting on the mantle, and he accidentally knocks them over, and he has to like hastily clean up the urn and the ashes.
Right.
I was like, how's that going to play out?
Yeah.
And it does lead somewhere. What is John, his dad buys him a giant clown doll for his birthday, and John like cuts it up by mistake. 'Cause he has a bunch of glass shards in his inventory that get shot out. and they like cut open the doll, cut off its arm and stuff. It's like, well, where's that gonna lead? And again, it does lead somewhere. When Rose starts playing Spurb with John, she like breaks his bathtub and sticks it
in front of his door,
in the hallway.
He can't go anywhere.
Again, all of these things go somewhere, so I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to see
where they went.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, through a bunch of shenanigans, including John donning a clever disguise and fighting with his dad in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we get the first sound panel from the story. Because again, he utilizes Flash sparingly, but it is here. Like, he does animations with music and stuff. And do you remember what the first like sound effect or music that was played?
It was like the when you booted up the game, whatever the game was, right? No?
It was the action John play a haunting piano refrain. In his dad's study is a piano.
Right.
So he ends up playing the piano, and we get a nice little piano ditty. So very simple to start out, like that's the first real Homestuck music. And then they'd get way more orchestrated and
because fans get really
complex,
into it.
yeah, like, there's like live instrumentation and stuff like that. But like,
right.
I guess this is a live piano sound. But yeah, so just to start things off, it's just John at his dad's piano, very simple, just playing this piano refrain.
He's very good at piano.
Yes. And then Rose, of course, plays the violin later on. We get a haunting violin refrain or something.
Right.
Dave also plays music when he's introduced. He raps. He plays the turntable. So I really don't think we need to get too much more into the plot, like
because it's gonna change up.
Yeah, totally. But like we talked about Rose, the game itself. They do get to play Spurb. And any thoughts on how that goes?
Don't play Spurb. Don't do it. The walkthrough is bad, and you'll die.
Yes, that's another. A window into 2009. Rose is reading game facts in order to know how to play Spurb.
And the facts are not facting.
Obviously, she is able to manipulate his house in certain ways, like rearrange rooms and change the dimensions of the walls and add additional stories. But she keeps like dropping large gizmos in his house that do things, and you're not sure what they do.
And she's doing them all. But she doesn't know why she's doing them. Nobody knows why she's doing them.
No, and there's an ominous countdown clock.
Yeah.
Counting down, and you're like, uh-oh, what's that to? And then John looks up in the sky and is like, oh, there's a meteor at my house.
Gotta go. John was wasting so much time, as one does when you're a 13-year-old boy. Like, could you move a little bit quicker? In his defense, Rose, her internet dropped.
Right. And that's another thing. So there's like the end of Act 1, there's a lot of stakes because John... his house is going to get hit by a meteor. She's running out of power. And we jump to Rose's perspective, and she's like, I gotta find the internet. I gotta find higher ground. My laptop at least has battery power, but not enough. Not much. So
yeah, I'm mostly concerned about John's dad.
I'm going to connect to my neighbor's Wi-Fi.
As one does. But yeah, we're not going to talk about more in the plot, but that's basically what we read for the first act.
Yeah, basically. John, the end of Act 1... The cliffhanger being, they're able to like do something in the game to the point where it's like, oh, this seems like the goal. Was it enough to save him from the meteor?
Total annihilation.
Yeah. So you see the meteor barreling down at his house, and it's like, did he manage to save himself in the nick of time? What's all this about? And then, yeah. So that's the first act of Homestuck. If you're interested, but if you still need more coercing. I have some more, thoughts on.
Lay them on them.
Or I have more like kind of just like facts. Like, what did the world think, for one?
Okay. Which world? The world that was destroyed by the meteor?
Our world. So Homestuck proved intensely popular. It was a cultural phenomenon for a while.
That is true.
Per The Atlantic, at the height of its popularity, Homestuck regularly attracted 1 million unique viewers to MS Paint Adventures website a day.
No.
I was one of those guys. I visited multiple times a day.
You're like,
sure.
is there another one? Is there another
Yeah,
one?
because there was a time where you didn't know if he was going to update it. And sometimes he was updating it every day.
Yeah.
And then later he took a bunch of breaks, so you'd have to check in and be like, where's my fix?
Where's my fix?
Homestuck has a few high-profile fans. Brian Lee O'Malley, the creator of the graphic novel series Scott Pilgrim, for example, described Homestuck as a, quote, massive undertaking of deftly handled long-term serialized storytelling. It is well-written and thoughtful. It has things to say.
Okay.
After its completion, writer Ben Tolkien said, "Do I recommend Homestuck? Should you drop everything and start reading it? You can't. Homestuck is over. And I mean over. Not just that it isn't updating. Homestuck, the masterpiece, was the event, the community, the shifting pace of updates, the constant chatter between fandom and author. Homestuck is done. If you missed it, you missed it." Which I think is certainly a perspective to have.
It's very hipster.
I mean, you will miss out on that aspect of the story, but I do think it stands on its own. So I disagree with that. I recommend Homestuck.
Yeah.
Do you recommend Homestuck from what you've read?
Maybe.
We did talk about me reading Omniscient Reader's
Yes,
Viewpoint.
I will have to watch the fan versions of it because the reading version of it is really hard for me.
But going back to like, if you missed it, that perspective. Another writer named Rob Beschiza added that reading Homestuck now would be, quote, like buying a DVD of Woodstock. It doesn't matter how well they played or how pretty they were. What mattered was being there.
Okay, but as a person who rewatched all the Woodstock footage, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, I wasn't alive in 1969, so it's
Yeah.
like watching the Woodstock documentary is great.
Yeah.
So again, I think historically, it's okay to go back to old media.
Yeah,
Even if you don't get the full experience.
exactly. What's that Beatles thing that we're definitely
The
going to end up
Beatles Get
talking
Back.
about? Yeah. You weren't there, so you're just, it's not going to be the same. Okay, but it's still great.
It's still great. And in 2017, NPR named Homestuck among its top 100 reader favorite comics and graphic novels.
Okay.
So it was popular.
Yeah.
People liked it.
Yeah.
You should read it.
Yeah.
And where did Homestuck go from here?
What were the negative things about Homestuck?
I said them.
What was it?
If you were there, you were there.
Wow. Wow. Okay. You got negative stuff about my thing. I was ready to say somebody's name for you. I was ready to be like, okay, Brian, for you. You don't get an okay, Brian now.
I couldn't find him. Where did Homestuck go from here? Homestuck ran for 7 acts.
Where did it run to?
Huh?
Shh.
Plus intermissions and credits, totaling 10,028 pages.
That's a lot of pages.
Yeah. So if you got time to read 10,000 pages,
I mean, I can read a fanfic that's much longer than that in a night.
The series came to an end April 13th, 2016.
Ah.
Yep. After
Same day?
7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, like, literally, it's the 10th anniversary of it finishing this year.
Yeah.
Today.
Huh.
How about that?
How about that?
So, yeah, it's been 10 years.
Since the last Homestuck.
Well, since the last official main story Homestuck.
Got
Like
it.
I said, there's been more Homestuck. I'll get to that. So, among those 10,000 pages, I think an important event that I have to touch on. It was big. I think it's the thing that really made Homestuck the phenomenon it is, and it was.
What was it?
It was the introduction of a group of alien kids called trolls.
Mm-hmm.
The introduction of the trolls was a turning point for Homestuck.
Right.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's a cast of 12 new characters introduced about halfway through. Kind of like they were teased in Act 3. Mm-hmm. They really got introduced in Act 5 of Homestuck. Mm-hmm. And they just get a big block of time dedicated to their story. And because they're also playing an instance of Spurb.
Yeah. I'm realizing now that I've stopped in Act 5. I was like, oh, I got pretty far when I read the first time.
And these characters, compared to John and his friends, are much more like they have a lot more like teen drama than John and his friends do. So they're, relationship problems and mental health issues and bullying. And I don't know, like he got much more mature with the trolls.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the character writing, at least in, remembering back to it. I remember being drawn to the trolls.
Right.
My favorite character from Homestuck is a troll.
Yes. I was like, is he wearing the shirt right now?
I have a feeling if I get to it now, I'm like, oh, she's awful. Like she's a bad person. I think back then I was like, I could fix her.
I can fix her.
But yeah, the trolls made Homestuck uber popular. Mm-hmm. I think now when you think of Homestuck fans, you think of gray body paint and horns.
Yeah,
cosplayers
probably.
And astrological sign T-shirts.
Yeah,
that's Homestuck.
That's Homestuck.
But yeah, so big deal. Couldn't not mention the trolls when talking about Homestuck, but we didn't read that far because it's a long trek there.
Yes,
but the trolls are great.
Yeah.
Homestuck spawned a merchandising empire, including physical books, artwork, apparel, plushies, barbecue sauce, and much, much more.
Barbecue sauce. That's going on the list for Mad King next year.
Ooh, gross. I think you could still buy it.
I'm sure
Go
you
to
could.
Topa or whatever.
It's just going to be barbecue sauce soup for you.
Ugh. Homestuck also spawned over 30 soundtrack albums. And I've listened to them regularly. Oh, I should just mention this now. A big piece of Homestuck's legacy, I think to most people now, and I'm going to play it. And a lot of people who are not familiar with Homestuck, they're going to hear this and go, that's from Homestuck? Yes, that is the song Megalovania, more popularly known now from the video game Undertale.
Oh.
Megalovania did not come from Undertale. In fact, it didn't even come from Homestuck. The composer of this tune, Toby Fox, who later made Undertale, composed the tune for an Earthbound like ROM hack that he made. And then he ended up doing a bunch of the music for Homestuck. Because he was a reader of Homestuck. So he was a lot of Homestuck's identity is rooted in Toby Fox's music.
Interesting.
And I think he's friends with Andrew Hussey.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. And then obviously this tune is great, so he reused it in Undertale. And now people know it as the Undertale song. So it's so funny. When Undertale got really huge about a decade ago, I heard Megalovania on a podcast and people are attributing it to Undertale. And I was like, that's from Homestuck. So I think right now, Homestuck's biggest legacy is Undertale, in a way.
Yeah. Huh.
All right, moving on. On April 13th, 2019, 7 years ago, exactly 10 years after Homestuck first launched, Andrew Hussey began publishing the Homestuck Epilogues, a sequel series presented in the style of an archive of our own fanfiction.
Yeah.
So it's all text.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of it.
I believe you.
I did start reading the Homestuck epilogues. It's not that I stopped reading them because I was uninterested. I think this was around 2019. We were married.
We were married.
We were working.
We just got married. Yeah.
This is right before I quit my job.
Yeah.
So and COVID would be happening.
Yeah.
Reading the Homestuck epilogues would have been perfect for COVID. It just didn't cross my mind. But it's much more adult, much more dry and contemplative and philosophical. It's a lot of, it's funny still, but it's much more like adult.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Decided to do that.
And it was written by Hussey or other people?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess then technically it's not fan fiction. It's canon.
Yes. Speaking of that, Homestuck Squared, I think is the way you say it. So Homestuck raised to the 2. Homestuck Squared, a sequel webcomic written by a team of writers based on an outline by Hussey, launched on October 25th, 2019. After a year of updates, it was put on indefinite hiatus because it was not popular. So I have not read that.
Yeah.
I've only heard stories. There's a great retrospective on Homestuck by YouTube's Sarah Zed. I recommend that video if you want to learn more about Homestuck.
Yeah.
Before you jump in. She did a really good job, going through almost everything.
Yeah.
More than we did.
Yeah.
But she talked about how, there were just issues with the writing. It wasn't up to the quality of Homestuck. There were some problematic characters. Characters were just kind of annoying. So it was not a very good follow-up to Homestuck. So it was put on hiatus and then relaunched as simply Homestuck Beyond Canon on October 8th, 2023.
Okay.
Having been taken over by a new creative team. The comic is ongoing at the time of this recording. So
Oh, okay.
there you go. Outside of webcomics, Homestuck spawned several video games, most notably the episodic adventure game Hive Swap,
Never heard of it.
which had amassed $2.4 million on Kickstarter in 2012.
Dang,
that was
Daniel.
a huge deal. There was a big push for that. I contributed to the Hive Swap adventure game.
How dare you? Where are our shares?
I received the first 2 episodes for free and the soundtrack albums, 5 years ago or so, whatever it is. Like, Hive Swap episode 1 was a lot of fun. It was a throwback to old adventure games from the 90s. I had a good time playing it, point and click stuff.
Yeah.
The music's good. There's a lot to click on and a lot of funny dialogue. Then the second one came out and it's more of that, but then it's like there is just it's too much. There's a very long Ace Attorney parody in the game, and I was like, this is not fun. I did not have fun playing that second episode at all. So that's my 2 cents on Hive Swap. So those 2 episodes have been released, and a third is planned for release this year.
Oh, okay. You gonna give that a shot?
Don't know. There are also 2 Hive Swap visual novel spin-offs.
Okay.
2018's Hive Swap Friend Sim and 2019's Pester Quest.
Oh.
I haven't played those,
Okay.
but they are on Steam if you're interested. And in 2025, a pilot for an animated adaptation of Homestuck was produced by Spindleroo,
Spindleroo.
the Australian branch of independent animation studio Spindlehorse. I've watched that
Pilot?
pilot. It's surprisingly good.
I'll watch it. Where is it?
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
so you can
okay.
watch the Homestuck pilot on YouTube if you prefer. And I will say this. If you find the comic confusing, imagine jumping into this animation where they have very little time to introduce everything to you, including the silly inventory system. So it can be quite confusing, but for a fan of the story, I thought it was surprisingly well done. I was afraid of voice acting, but the voice actors do a very good job.
Nice.
And John is voiced by Toby Fox himself,
I don't know who Toby Fox is.
the Undertale guy.
Oh,
And that's, my friends, is Homestuck.
that's Homestuck. And that's our show.
That's our show. So thank you for listening. I hope you find comfort in the sound of our voices.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since we've been on the air.
Yeah.
For both of us, at least.
Yeah.
We've been online
Separately.
elsewhere. Yeah.
We don't worry, kids. We're not divorcing. We just have separate presentation of us on the internet currently.
Yeah, but we got more special shows lined up. We're going to try to get some more out this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, couldn't
But
leave
much,
it hanging for too
much
long.
like Homestuck, you'll never know when it's coming.
Exactly. You can still follow us on Blue Sky and on Instagram. We're on Blue Sky at mediamade and Instagram at mediamade show. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Rod the Master. You could also read my stuff about video games at zeldadungeon.net.
If you're looking for me, I've got another podcast, like we said on the top of the show, Taming Tales. That's a lie.
Spinning
Tales. On YouTube or on any places that you enjoy podcasting, where we tell stories together. Well, we write stories and we tell them. And sometimes, because my co-host is a mental health professional, we also make you feel things that you were not prepared to feel while watching a video about 2 girls telling a story. Come and join us.
Hey, you can also help out our show in the interim by liking, subscribing, and sending us money on coffee.com. That's ko-fi.com/mediamade.
Yeah. If you share this with friends and we get lots of people listening to it, maybe we'll do them more often because we'll be
working still.
we'll be working still. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think what do I want to close out this show with? It's got to be another Homestuck tune.
Sure.
And
It's got to be the rap that introduced us to Dan.
You know
to
what?
Dave.
It's got to be the cover of one of the main Homestuck composers and contributors. This guy named Michael Guy Bowman.
Michael Guy Bowman.
And Michael Guy Bowman recorded several covers of the Leanne Rimes song "How Do I Live," which is featured at the end of Con Air.
Okay.
So he covered the song a couple times, and we're gonna close out with the date night version of that song.
Okay.
So, date D8.
Oh, of course. Let's do it.
How Do I Live? The date night version by Michael Guy Bowman. It's quite funny, and it's got a great guitar solo at the end. That too. But
So go and listen to it by yourself.
Yeah, we're gonna close out with that, and we'll see you all next time down the road.
And remember, kids, if you catch Brian on the street and he's talking trash about our media, slap him 3 times in the back of the head.
Enter